All right. Everything seems to be working. Just lower the volume a little bit. Okay. All right, so we're still working on the Last Crusade Episode 2 puzzle from codinggame.com. Um, Yesterday was not a good day. I spent way too much time fighting with my tools. I'm using rollup.js to kind of bundle my TypeScript into a one file JavaScript, which is what Code and Game needs. And I was having a hard time transpiling some code when I was trying to access some of my helper functions that I have in basically a sibling folder to the to the project folder I have for Last Crusade 2. And honestly, I couldn't really figure out why it wasn't working. So I kind of hacked a solution. And that solution is I ended up transpiling directly into the helpers folder all my helper functions and stuff, which I have written in TypeScript. I ended up transpiling them there into JavaScript, just using the TSC, using the TypeScript compiler. And I had to change the rollup config here, whereas I used to only have the TypeScript plugin for CJS and ES formats. I added the Resolve and CommonJS modules, and it worked. So it was just a lot of trial and error and stuff. But anyways, now it works. I don't understand exactly why it does and why it didn't work before, but now it does. And we can keep working on the puzzle, which is what we want. Okay, so where were we? Well, yesterday, let's take a look at. Yesterday, we kind of found a way to get the first test case to pass, right? Play test case. Test case, you win! And if you guys remember, if you were there yesterday, it's a pretty easy test case. You're just dropping straight down, but you do need to rotate the middle room. So we did that. Now we're working on the second one, which is more complicated. Let's do this. We're not passing. Nice. See that in full screen. Dropping down. We did. Okay, so we do turn in this room here. So that's good. But then we need to find a way to turn this one and then turn this one, and who knows what's coming next after that. So that's where we're at. And I think, if I remember what I was thinking yesterday, the one thing I wanted to do and that we kind of need to provide is a way to easily rotate our rooms. So right now I've got my room types in a map. This is the room type index, I guess. These are the direction that you enter the room from, and I've got them as properties, so you can easily say, all right, room 0 entering from the left, then you're, well, that's not a good example because room 0 is just a solid block of earth, but let's take this one here. So room 1, enter from the left, then you would end up going down because it's one of those, you know. I think that this one's a T-shaped, so like that. So whether you come in from the left or the right or the top, you're going straight down. All right, so now I think I have to add to this class object, data type, whatever. Do I actually have this described? Yeah, I do. I have it described as a room. So maybe we need to expand this to not just being a type alias, but actually make it a class. Because now, maybe not. We could probably, well, we might be able to keep it simple. All I really need is two kind of methods on this, where I can say, okay, room type 1, rotate left. Now, where do I end up going? Or actually, if now, if it would have to be like rotate left, then what room type do I become? Yeah, that would be better because I need to change the room type in the actual grid, right? Remember, I'm keeping our entire game grid here in a 2D array. So if I end up rotating a room at, somewhere in the grid, um, not only do I have to tell the game engine that I'm doing that, but I also have to keep my own state in sync with that. So I need a way to do that. Okay. So how about we simply do, um, if we do, say, rotate left, right? And then I'm wondering if that's the best way to do this. Then just return a room type, for instance. In this case, it would just be 0. Yeah, but we really need to change the indie pause null. We're not returning null anymore, are we? Don't believe we are, but we could be returning a number. Nope. Okay, I see what's going on here. Because I've got, okay, let's think about this. Oops. Oh, I do need to have null. Okay. Huh. If let's say, okay, let's just run through what's going on here in the one test case that, in this one here. Which I have, oh, look at that, that's neat. Just kind of, okay. And I'm logging, what am I logging here? I'm logging, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Indy's next position. Okay. So Indy enters the tunnel in cell 10. Oh, maybe I should log the grid too. That could be useful. I thought I was doing that, but let's do it. At least the... yeah, should I do it in the game loop or should I do it? Yeah, that's going to come in handy, I think, to have that at the beginning of each turn. Yep. So at the beginning of each turn, let's do that. Log grid. Let's take a look, see what happens. Oops. Is that correct? That is correct. Why do I get it twice, though? 0 and 2, 1 and 2. Interesting. Okay, well, this would be the first time that it logs, so okay. This is our entry point here. Okay, 12, then we have to go, yeah, I remember now. We have to go all the way to the right, then all the way down, then all the way to the left, and this would be our exit. Minus in front of a room type indicates that it's locked, that you, so when you see it here, or you see it here, it means you can't rotate it. You're not allowed. So we're going to have to find a way to deal with that as well. Right now, we don't have to bother with it because it's only the starting and ending rooms that are locked. But at some point, they're probably going to throw in some locked rooms that can't be rotated inside the maze, and we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, so for now, we're starting here, right? Indy enters the tunnel 1 0. So 1 0. That's the one. Okay. And then what happens? We are figuring out that he's going to end up in 1 1 coming in from the top. The problem that we have is that 1 1, which is this here, is this type of room. Obviously, it can't come in from the top. So normally so we need to rotate that, and we need to rotate that to the left so that it can go into this one here. And that's what we do. Like, you don't see, I'm not logging that we're doing that, but we're doing it. And that's why we come back around and get a new, and this is the problem, see? I'm not updating the maze right now. My grid, my local representation of the tunnel system. I still have it showing as a 12 when really it no longer is a 12. It is now a 11. So that's what I need to do. Hey, Freeze Team, what's up? Good thing I looked at the chat screen. I don't have chatty on. I wouldn't have had the ding that I need, because when I'm focused, I just keep coding and I don't know what's going on in chat. There we go. Perfect. Here for your frog legs. Yeah, that's right. Cool. I'm working on this is a pretty hard one. This is a pretty hard one. More complex anyways. Fun though. Okay. So I need to keep the grid in sync with what Code and Game has. Hey, how's that? Yeah, thanks. No problem. How's that bot coming along? Are you still working on that? I want you to redo all these in C# next. Oh man, I don't know. You know what? I think my next language is probably going to be Rust. I'm really interested in Rust. But you know, we'll see. I don't know if Code and Game is compatible with Rust. I'm gonna have to look that up. Can I? No, I can't. Because I've got. Oh, I could probably. Hold on. Yep, still doing lunch bot. Yeah, you never really told me what the bot was actually doing. It tells you when it's time for lunch or something. C#, JavaScript, C++, Java, Python, Bash. Bash, wow, cool. Clojure, Dart, F#, Go, Groovy, Haskell. Well, they read Pascal. Wow. I live next to the sea. Rust is a bad thing. uh, there it is. Rust. Uh-huh. VB.net, Swift. Oh, they really should make one straight for TypeScript. That would be so cool. No need to compile to JavaScript, just straight TypeScript. They take care of it. But whatever. Okay, let's get back to my external ID. All right. Okay. And this is where we see the problem here. I think. Free Steam says it's just for fun, really. Every Friday, Ross and I have lunch, and we alternate paying, so the bot keeps track for use and for us, and where we are going to eat. Oh, that's cool. Exorcism does TypeScript. Yep, that is true. That is true. Okay. Failure. Indy crashed on the wall. Okay, this is the problem. See, this here, where it says null, this is my call to console.error Indy's next position. So we're saying that Indy's next position is null. Why are we saying that? Because we are looking ahead in the maze at this one here, 3, but with an entry position of, so 3 is this here, but with an entry position of left. So obviously that doesn't work. And that's why we're getting null back. So we need to fix that. Okay, my Slack is blowing. Enjoy. Yeah. See you around, Steve. So let's fix that now. That's going to be our job for today. But how do we do that? That's the thing. We need a way to, when rotating a room, getting back the new room type that we're rotating into. So yeah, my idea wasn't bad, just to have that as a as some sort of a property on that. Really. Should I turn this into a class? I don't think I need to. I can just keep it as a type, but let's see. What would that look like? So I was doing rotate left. Let's say rotate left. And then that needs to be a function that returns just the next room number, really. Now it's complaining because it doesn't fit the signature that we have here. But it would if I just add number. There you go. So that's not bad, doing it that way. if I do rotate right, just return 0. Mm-hmm. Right. How do you spell right again? Right. GHT. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. It feels like I should probably make this a class. Although we don't really mutate the room itself. It's just, no, let's keep it like that. It just feels kind of dumb that I'm having it be a function. I could just do this. So this is one thing you can have, and then this is the other thing, just a simple number. This would work too, and would make more sense, I would think. Now let's just add these to every single one of them things. Oop. Boop, boop, boop. And there we go. Like that. Like that. Ah, crap. I can't rotate. Well. Nope. I don't want to. I don't want to have that rotate left or right, I think, on rooms that can't be rotated or that it doesn't make sense to rotate. Like type 1, I don't think normally would be rotated. It doesn't make a difference anyways, right? Type 2 and type 3 you can, and type 0 doesn't make a difference anyway, so we should probably not allow for rotating at all on these. I want to get some sort of feedback, at least an undefined or something, or some error. Because I shouldn't even be attempting to rotate these. It doesn't make sense. 2 and 3, it works, I think, right? Yeah. And we already know that if we're rotating 2, whatever direction, we're going to get 3. So let's do that. And if we rotate 3, whatever directions, we're getting 2. Yep. Okay. And the same with 4 and 5. The same with 4 and 5. If we do this, we're going to get 5. If we do this, we're going to get 4. And 6 and 7. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now that's going to be different depending on which direction. So let's start with 6. So 6, if we rotate it clockwise, so right, we end up with 7. So right gives us 7. If we rotate left, so counterclockwise, we end up with 9. Cool. Done. Okay, now let's do 7. So 7, if we rotate to the right, we end up with 8, and otherwise with 6. So 8 or 6, and I think I see the pattern here. So that's going to be 9 and 7, and that's going to be 8 and 6. Let's just make sure. 9, I rotate right, I end up with 6. I rotate left, I end up with 8. That's right. Left 8, right 6. Okay. Now, same principle for 10, 11, 12, and 13. So let's start with 10. So if I rotate 10 to the right, I end up with 11. To the left, I end up with 13. 13, 11. If I do 11, it's going to be 12 and 10. If I do 12, it's going to be 13 and 11. And all the way back around for this one, so that would be 10 and 12. Is that right? If I'm here, rotate to the right, I end up with 10. That's correct. To the left, I end up with 12. Left 12, right 10. Good. Okay, so that wasn't so hard. Now, what do we do with that? Okay, well, now this is complaining because cannot invoke an expression whose type lack calls signature type. Ah, yeah, I've just gone and screwed that up, haven't I? Okay. I really like that I can just do boom entry, but you know, if it's starting to feel constrained by the signature here, maybe we should let's see here. I really could make this into a class. This would be a direction property. And or I could just make that a sub. If I did it like this, let's say direction, and then have a sub object that has these right here, like that. My room type would, yeah, this is getting a little, I think I'm just going to make a class. It's just cleaner. So what would this look like? Class, let's call this room. Sorry. Class room. It's going to have a, let's make a constructor here. It's going to have a, where am I using this room types thing? In here. Okay. And this is the room that we're getting from the room type. So now room types is going to be storing rooms instead of Okay, let's roll with this and see where that gets us. So we're going to need something that we're going to call read only. Directions. Yep. I think that's good. And that's going to be of type. It's going to be of type. So like this. Actually, this is going to be of type this, right? So let's call this, let's keep this. Get rid of that, get rid of this, and get rid of that. Yeah, we're gonna call this entry direction. Entry, how about entry? Entry to entry map, maybe? Yeah, let's call it an entry map. I think that works. Or just direction map. Which really, this is what this is here. Direction map. Directions map. Whatever. So directions is of type directions map. I think that works. And then the other thing that we want is, what is it? Oh yeah, rotate. So that's also going to be a read-only. Rotate left, type number, and then read-only. Rotate right, type number. Okay. So then here, instead of having this object, we would go, and these can be undefined. Okay, now number, and we're going to have a type room, yeah. So if we just do new room and then pass that in like that. That works. Yay. Okay. Right on. Let's do the next one. New room. Pass pass that in. Like that. Okay. Your room. Pass. Well, pass that in. Don't need this. Need a curly brace. And I need to pass in 3 and 3. Rotate left, rotate right. Get rid of this. Okay. Sounds good. Onwards. New room. Pass that in here. Then 2, 2. Your room. Here. And 5 and 5. Rid of this. And save. Interesting. Yeah, I guess so. Save some room if we can. And here, going to be new room. These two, like that, and 4 and 4. Delete this. Save. Okay. And here, new room. These two here, like that, and 9 and 7, halfway done, just about. And then your room. Here, 6 and 8. This. Your room. Tedious. And 7 and 9. New room. Left and top. 8 and 6. New room. Just this one here. And 11. Oh, almost done. We're almost done. Okay. in 10 and 12. Only one left, I think, or two. Two left. Like that. 11 and 13. Okay. And the final one. 12 and 10. There we go. Okay. I don't know why this one didn't. It's weird. It's not any bigger than this one. What are you doing? Prettier. There we go. This one too. It should probably be able to do that. All right. Maybe not. Let's see if we can kind of force it to do it. Yep. Yep, there we go. I don't know that that's necessarily better, but it takes less space. Okay. So we're good with that. What? Okay. We still... Yeah. Now this is complaining, of course. Room or undefined. If there's no room, invalid room type, room.entry is no longer good. No, it's room.directions entry, room.directions entry, and we're in business. Okay, now, where do I make the decision whether to rotate or not? I do it right in here, right? I get the next position. There is a next position. I look ahead to the next position. Right, yes. Now, if there's no look ahead, if it's null for some reason, console.log. Okay, basically that's okay. So if I'm getting the wrong thing, this is where I tell it to rotate. I'm saying rotate that thing. I don't know, I've got to continue there, so the turn count doesn't make sense. I don't need it anyways, so I would just need to make sure to also actually rotate that thing in our grid, and we would do that by going grid dot get in these next pause dot x in these next pause dot no, it's the opposite, it's dot y dot x y dot x, and that would get us, no, actually we don't want to get it, we just want to replace it. So a simple, I don't have a I'll have a put method. I don't know if it would be better to get one. Could be. It could be. And it could check to make sure that what we're trying to do, we're actually putting something in the within the bounds of our to the array, not going outside of it somehow. Taking for, granted that we want this thing to the array to be square. Well, rectangular, anyways. Okay, but for now, let's just do indies next pause dot y, indies next pause dot x, and now that, just to remove that dot, that is going to be I need to this predicts the position he's going to be in. Okay, well I need to get that information first. So store that somewhere. Store. Or can I extract that from here? What information do I have in here? Indies pause. What's the... No, I don't have the type. It could be useful to store it. Oh, but that would make things complicated. So let's just extract it here. We've got what we need, so let's go indies, indies, next pause, room type, equals grid. Okay, that's that, and now we'll go grid, basically just this here. And we're gonna do dot, no, just like this. And we're changing the room type to, I need to get into my room types. Room types. Room types. Dot get indies next room type. Okay, fine. And then am I getting here? I'm getting a room, that's right, or undefined. Crap. Let's pretend we're not getting undefined yet, but it doesn't want to. So let's course this for now anyways. Am I not exporting this? No, I guess I'm not. Now I am. Okay. And now we can do dot rotate left. Now what? Type number undefined is not assignable to type string. Rotate left can actually return undefined. Yes, it might not be set. Well, that can easily be. So rotate left and just do toString. No, that doesn't work because it might be undefined. Ugh. Right. So well, let's course that for now. So I just want to see the behavior to a string. That's saying, are you sure you want this to be a string? Because I don't think it's going to be a string. So it's actually number. Then I have to go to toString. Yeah. There we go. Okay. We're definitely going to need to change that, but for now, I just want to see what happens. All right, so let's run this and see if it blows up in our face and where and why. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, look at, oh, and I know exactly why, but at least now we, this is so hilarious. Let's look at this and, woo, so we actually do rotate this. The thing is we rotate it to the left when in fact we should have rotated it to the right. And that's okay because I know why. Because I've just hard coded that we're rotating to the left. I'm not checking to see if it makes sense to rotate to the left or to the right at the moment. I'm just checking if basically we're hitting a problem, and if we're hitting a problem, then let's just rotate arbitrarily to the left and hope for the best. And the best we did not get. So now I need some sort of mechanism in there to choose between right and left. But let's see, I'm curious though at the end. All right, so you can clearly see that I'm updating my grid system properly. All right. If we go from the start, it was -3, 12, 3, 3. Now we change it to -3, 11, 3, 3, and then we change it to -3, 11, 2. So as we're rotating, but on the last one, so x6 y1. So this is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the next one we're supposed to be moving into from the left. Was it originally it was a 12, so we're already rotated here. That's what we did the last time. See, you rotate cell. No, hold on. Oh, here. You rotated cell 6-1 to the left, which is this cell here, but we should have rotated it to the right. And NG tried to move from cell 5-1 to cell 6-1, entering from the left, and that did not work. So, let's see. We're getting Indy's next position. Then we're looking ahead of that next position. And if we're getting back null, why would we get back null? We would get back null because, okay, let's think, let's follow this. We're, CAD predict Indy pause. We'll predict Indy pause if there's no room type. We get invalid grid positions, so that's not what we get. It would have thrown an error. If there is no room, we would get an error. If room.directions.entry, we would get, you know, the next room. And we only get null when none of this is true. So basically, when we do have a room type, we do have a room, but we don't have associated with that room an entry position. So for instance, we were trying here to, let's see, we were trying to get into an 11 from the left. An 11 is, just closed it. 11 is this. Clearly you can't come in from the left. And so our program would have done room directions left. And now we know that the room type we were looking at was 11, and there is no left, right? There's only top. And the behavior would have then to be to default to return null. So that's why we're getting null. So when we're getting null here, or here, it's because it's impossible to get into the next room. Okay. So now that we've determined that it's impossible to get into the next room, what do we do about it? Well, you could try rotating it and see if it works. Yeah, we could just try rotating it and see what happens. How do we see what happens? By trying this again. So we could have some sort of a for loop. If, look ahead. So this could become a while, look ahead. Right, look ahead. before I go on and to do this, I am going to, what's the major thing we did here is to change the room to a class. Change room from type to class. Okay, now let's go ahead and change this. So I would, yeah, I'd have like while look ahead isn't good. While it isn't good, what do we do? Well, we nope, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. If there's no look ahead, get in these next position room type. So we've got the room type. Now we assign, we basically rotate it to the left. And if we've done that, and how do we check though? I mean, we do the look ahead thing again, right? We could predict induced position. We just check it again. We check it again, and then if we're good, well, that's confirmation that we get to do this. We get to rotate left. But if we're wrong, well, first, let's do this properly. If we're wrong, then we basically need to rotate the other way. We know that's our only option, so but now we've already rotated to the right. So we actually need to do this twice. Rotate right. To bring it back. Kind of a dumb way to do it, but and then we console log to the right. And continue. I think I got this. It's ugly as heck, but okay, so we didn't break the first test case. It's always good. Let's try this one. Yeah, there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, oh yeah. In full screen. Let's do this. Yeah, wow, look at this. rotate that way, rotate that way, rotate that way. Oh yeah. Boom. Yay. Cool stuff. 2 down. Now I really don't like the code we've got for this, but and I have a feeling it's not gonna pass the test of time as we go into more complex scenarios, but for now, it works. So let's just do pass second test case in Last Crusade 2. There you go. I'll even upload that for you guys if you want it to GitHub. Now, next one. Broken secret passages. What? Let's see what happens. Play the test case. Good, 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 good. No. Why? How? That's interesting. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I need a bit of context. What happens here? Why didn't it rotate? Why did it not rotate? Let's play it again. This is good. This is good. Go down. All right. All right. And then we lose. We lose. I'm going to need to look at the grid at the beginning. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with here. We're starting at the very right. And we want to, okay, good. Sorry. And we need to finish right here, I believe. So we're doing this, and this is, we can't rotate this. Somehow we seem to know about it. And we can't rotate this one. So where do we end up? We end up gotta watch this again. Try to figure out where on the Y index we end up. So oops. Let's get back here, you bum. So this would be index 0, index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is where this doesn't work. Okay. So getting back here, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we end up here. Broken secret passage. Okay, let's see what we're trying to do. Oh, we get a type error. Timeout. Your program did not provide an input in due time. Okay. So cannot read property to string of undefined. Now that's because we're cheating a little bit here, right? We're and it's in line 173. So that would be the first one after our look ahead. Right here. So it's saying you can't do this because I have undefined. Where did we get undefined from? It's from that rotate left. So we tried to rotate left. But it's undefined. So that means that the room type we're getting does not allow us to rotate. Which one were we trying to rotate here? ND moves from cell 2-5 to cell 1-5. 1-5 entry right. So 1, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here. And so he's in 2-5, and he moves from cell 2-5 to cell 1-5, entering from the right. And okay, we make that. We make that move. Two five from cell 1-5. 6. Type 6. Okay, we're good. That's fine. How did we not figure out that we were supposed to rotate though? Oh, we did. We did because we get to the right place, but now we're trying to rotate what? In the next position. It means we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have waited. We should have rotated this. Why did we not rotate this? Why did we not rotate this? Why did we choose to wait? We chose to wait because we could get in there. Standard 05, entry right, type cannot read property. String of undefined. Yeah, well, obviously. So we're getting next position. Predict in these next position. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. We're getting in these next position. So at this point it's, so okay, so here, this is in these next position, 1-5. So at the moment we're in this here, right? We're getting in these 1-5, position right. Now we're like, okay, that's cool. You can get in there. But then what? I should have looked at this and figured that didn't work. Oh, but I wasn't able to. Now, was I? Because, or was, oh man, gonna need to log this. This would be so much easier if we could use a debugger. Okay, so I'm looking at Indy's next position. That's good. That gives me a clue as to what's going on. Let's also get the look ahead. Just to see, look ahead. Put that in error. Like that. Run this beautiful thing again. Splat. So when we're looking, so 2-5, you rotated, so Indy's next position 2-5. So this is when I'm actually in here. I am at 3-5. Right. So I'm at 3-5. I'm looking ahead to 2-5 coming in from the right, and I'm looking ahead, boom, null. Then I go rotate left. What am I rotating left? I'm rotating 2-5 left? I'm rotating 2-5 left. Oh, because 2-5 is a 3. So that would be correct. I'm saying, dude, you need to rotate this, otherwise I can get into it. And then I move into it. Rotate 2-5 to the left. Because 2-5 is a 3 at the, yeah, it's a 3. And I'm turning it into a 2. Let's see. Oh. It's a 3. I'm turning it into a 2. Yeah, that's right. And then what? Cell 3-5, entering from the right. I'm turning it into a 2, and I rotate cell 2-5. I get into cell 2-5. Now I'm in cell 2-5. I'm looking at cell 1-5, which is a 6. Okay. And it being a 6, I'm like, okay, I can get to the next one. I look at the next one, and I see a 0, right? 0-5, entry from the right. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. But I can't. Where am I right now? I'm in 2-5. So I'm here. I'm looking to go here. We're good. I'm looking to go here. We're no good. How come I'm not getting a null? Why am I getting a null here? And I'm not getting a null here for the look ahead. Okay, let's look at this. Right now, I'm standing at 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. No, I'm standing at 3, 5. Good. Okay. 3, 5. I'm looking at the 2, 5, and I'm looking at this one, and it's saying null. Why? Because I can't get from a 2 to won't let me enter. It won't let me enter from that. Right? If I look at my code, from direction entry, there's no entry to that room. I return null. Well, how am I getting into... So maybe then... this should just be blank. Would that work? We're getting further along here. Let's look at it. It's not working, but are we still getting stuck in the same place? We are still getting stuck in the same place. That didn't change anything, which is weird. Let's look at this. I still get the look ahead 5. So that wasn't the problem then, I guess. I need this to be null. Why isn't it null? So since that didn't help, let's just bring it back. What am I doing essentially here? Look ahead is calling predict indie pause with indie's next pause, this one here, and its entry. So I'm saying 1, 5 entry right. Where am I going to get? And we've got a tile 2. So if I look at this, tile 2, entry right, direction left. Okay. So we are able to get into the next one. Well, we're passing through. We're at 2, 5 here. Hey, Ryan Roberts. I'm just wondering what the difference between a terminal versus output. What are you referring to here? Where did you see these terms? I don't think I'm using these in the code right here. You're referring to something else? uh, and then just running code. Right. Well, a terminal is usually referring to something like this, right? I'm in Windows, so CMD, the command prompt, is a kind of terminal. PowerShell is another one. Bash is another one, depending on your operating system. But basically, they're all command lines, command line interfaces, I guess would be the proper term. They all allow you to run programs using a command line. So you want to know the difference between a terminal and a command line, is what you're saying? They're pretty much the same thing to my knowledge. They're just two words to refer to the same thing, I think. I might be wrong. There might be some kind of distinction technically, but I pretty much hear them being used interchangeably. So yeah, so when someone says just, like run it in the terminal, that's pretty much what they mean. Open up something like command prompt and then just run your program. I hope that helps. That's the way I understand it. Console would be another one, I guess, that's kind of akin to terminal. So this can be considered kind of a terminal, I guess, this here. I think, yeah, terminal is something that allows you to display standard out and get input from standard in. I don't know if that's a good definition, but that's what they usually do, I think. Still haven't, okay, I still got to figure out. I think my problem is simply that I need to look one further out. Right, so and this is when we're getting into the need to maybe use recursion or something. If there's no look ahead, do this, blah, 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 blah. If it is good, then let's do one more look ahead. So we're basically looking ahead, looking ahead, looking ahead. I think I'm starting to see a pattern here. So what I'm doing right now, I'm only looking ahead to rooms. But I think that what I need to do is look ahead until I reach the end. That makes sense. Do I really need to do that? I don't think I need to do that to pass this one. I could just add one further look ahead, but let's try to extract that into a function or something. Inde's next position. If there's no Inde's next position, basically just look at Inde's next position again. Okay, if I wanted to extract that to some sort of function, what would that look like? Function, a function to output our let's make it a string, and we'll output what we're supposed to pass into code and game. And we're going to call this, output, I don't know, or input, right? All right, so that's definitely the first thing we need to do. Let's get this. So we're going to need to pass that in. Are they? I think they're already numbers, and that's a string. Okay. Y is a number. XY is a number. And posi is a string. Okay. Now we've got in these next position. What do? We check. We check that we do get. And if we don't get a next position, we just wait. Why would we do that? I'm curious to see if we ever actually get to this. What if I was to gonna just get rid of it and try to... so I guess we do. If Indy's next position is null, we wait. So if I look at this one here, what? If Indy's next pause, if there's no look ahead, oh, okay, it's in the case that I see. So really, pretty sure we could just do this, and that wouldn't change a thing. Rid of that, rid of this. Wait, what? Oh, And that's why we have that if statement in there, but in reality, I don't think we ever get a null from this. So let's test out my theory by doing this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about this one here? It'll stop in the exact same place. Well, that's kind of interesting. Just realized that we're kind of, let's see. Oh, we've got an 11 there. We're tripping up on that 0. It would seem. Okay. All right. So, Indy's next position. We get Indy's next position, which could technically be a null. When would it be a null? It would be a null if, right. Okay. The thing is, the first, okay, I understand why. It's never a null in our case because we look ahead and fix the things that could make it a null. But now if I'm trying to do this recursively, or maybe not yet, but let's say a three-step look ahead. Get in these next position, then what do I do with this? I get the next position. Let's be stupid and call it next position. All right, it shouldn't be more complicated than this, really. Recursive, I love it. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm just not sure yet if that's what I'm probably going to have to end up to using something like that for sure. But I want to keep it simple for now and actually try to understand the algorithm. I'm not quite sure yet the correct way to do this. And this is going to complain because it might be null. Yeah, okay. Which is why I had that if statement before, which makes sense, I guess. So let's replicate this. If Indy's next position. Keep on looking stuff on it over and over again. Hopefully once I get it, I can take a break and won't have an overflow. Okay, you mean like you read about it. You're having a hard time making recursive functions. Is that what you're saying, Ryan? Yeah, I see that. I didn't get it the first go, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, you were recursively looking stuff up about recursive stuff. Yeah, Stack Overflows. Okay. Uh-huh. So if that's good, then I can go and do Indy's next position. And that's going to be Indy's next position. Dot Y. Indy's next position. Oops. Hopefully in 4 years I can tell you I got my CS degree. So you just started. Okay, now we've got this one. And this is where it gets interesting. Well, I took the first course and I got the basic down off it, while for classes, object, variables, arrays, and data types, trying to learn data structure. Yeah. Also learn pointers and recursion, which I seem to have recursion down. Cool, 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 cool. It's good stuff. Gotta start with the basics. Okay. I am tempted to do this recursively, but I will resist that temptation for now, I think. Trying your best not to fail college. Well, that's good. That is good. You should try your best not to fail college, I would think. You know what? I'll just copy all of that and work from this. Here I can just return instead of continue. Turn this stuff here. Don't need this anymore. Should make the control flow a little easier. Now here's the thing. I need to here. I need to go one step down. You think I can get the CS degree? Well, Ryan, I sure hope you can, but I don't really know you, so it's hard for me to say. I mean, I'm sure if you work hard and study. I usually jump on every assignment and use my weekends to get ahead, and on the train home, I look over my notes to refresh my mind. Well, that's very, very good. Where do you go to school? All right, so at this point, UIC in downtown Chicago, cool. Noise. Do I want to go down one before returning? I would need to check again. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Or maybe just completely change the algorithm for this, because this is getting a little too complicated, and I think it doesn't need to be that complicated. So I think I'm gonna have to think about this, give it some thought. Maybe going recursive is the right way to go, which would require a few changes to the way I've got stuff hooked up. And I would need to store the end room, which is not a big deal, because I need to know when to stop recursing. Yeah. And then once I get to the end, just basically unwind the whole thing. Oh, but I'm only allowed one change. I would need some sort of a flag. Okay, yeah, I think I have an idea, but I'm running out of time, so I'm going to think this through a little bit more, and tomorrow I'll get to maybe implement some new solution that is a bit cleaner, and that'll work more importantly. So that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for watching. Ryan, I hope you do well in your studies. Stop by again if you need some help with anything. I'll be happy to help if I can. All right, see you around.